Hi, welcome back to Christine's Health Affairs. Today is Friday night, and I think I gave you my last update on Monday night. So I had my second dose of doxorubicin Wednesday week ago, so I think that was like 10 days ago. And I can tell you it hasn't been a good few days. When on the Sunday I started to have very little energy, so I ended up coming home, having an early nap and staying home for the day. And from there, everything kind of went downhill very quickly. So I've had an extremely emotional week. I've been very depressed. I'm hard on myself. I know I am, and I know I've got to cut it out. But I am a person that usually has so many things to do, and I love to veg out on the couch and do nothing, but I like it to be my choice, not be forced upon me. So I've usually got lots of things that I want to do, and I just don't like being unwell. I like to be in control of what my body does, or what I'm capable of doing. I am a control freak, I admit that, always have been, always will be. But look, I've been really struggling. Tuesday, we had to go down to Melbourne. That's right, I did talk to you guys on Monday night. Tuesday morning, Chris and I went really early to Melbourne. I had the CTCA scan, which was a CT angiography, something like that. A little bit different to an angiogram. It's less invasive. You just go through a CT scanner and they scan your heart and whatever it functions, whatever functions it does. And when we got there in the morning, 8 o'clock was our appointment time, and it wasn't until about 9:30, quarter to 10, that I actually went into the CT. Apparently they've got to get your heart rate down to about 60 to 61, so it took a couple of hours to do that. But like the previous time that I had chemo, I ended up with absolutely no energy. And this time it wasn't because of the heart palpitations and me ending up in hospital. I really think it's because of the chemo. My energy levels were just, they had completely plummeted. I had no energy whatsoever. Chris helped me walk into the CT area. I needed a bed to lay down because I couldn't sit down to hold my body up, just like when I went to that cardiologist's office. So for the next hour and a half or so, I just lay in a bed completely still, trying to keep myself nice and calm to get my heart rate down. They ended up having to give me another beta blocker to bring my heart rate down to 59. And apparently there's too much noise in the CT when your heart rate's going too high, so they need it to be really low. So anyway, finally had the CT scan, and it took a good 2 hours for me to be well enough to actually put my clothes back on after the CT scan. I had no energy to get, my upper garments off, and by the time everything had finished, it was just really, really horrible. Chris stayed with me most of the time. I sent him off to go and get his stuff from the tool shop. He'd been waiting too long. After that, we went to the cardiologist's office, which was another suburb over, only about 15 minutes drive away. And I had the heart bug monitor fitted, so I've got that fitted for 30 days. And it's really cute. It's a little beetle, so it's a lady beetle thingamajig. It's got to look up at me. Apparently, if it looks down, then the ECG results will be upside down. It's got to look up so that the ECG results are facing up. And there's a really easy to use app that it's got to be connected to 24 hours a day for the next month. And thank you to somebody that recommended I get the skin sensitive patches, because I do have sensitive skin, and with so many ECGs lately and scrapes of my skin for these little metallic things that they put on, patches that they put on you. Yeah, my skin has just been terrible. I've got little rashes everywhere from all of these dots that I've had put on. So I got some more sensitive skin patches sent in the mail by the bug people. And yeah, I just need to change that every 5 or 6 days or so. And yeah, it just stays on while I'm having a shower and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, it just sits there quietly. But again, my energy levels for the rest of the day were pretty crap. We went home after that and I had to lay the seat down in the car and just lay down on my back for the entire drive home, which was about an hour and a half. I didn't have the energy just to sit up like I'm doing today. In fact, today is the best day I've had in the entire week. So that was Tuesday, we had the heart bug monitor put on. Wednesday, I didn't feel good. I decided Tuesday night, because I'd had so little energy, I wasn't going to have a shower. I didn't trust myself to stand up long enough in the shower. And then the following night, I was even worse. So I'm itchy because I've got these patches on me and they're just, yeah, they're making me itchy. So and the following night, I couldn't end up having a shower either. And when I woke up the next morning, I just said to Chris, I've got to have my shower. I just felt so grotty and I really needed to have one. So he stayed in the house while I did that. I lasted 60 seconds in the shower. I think it's the quickest one I've ever had in my life. I washed all my bits and then got out of there really quickly. I had just enough time to put a towel around me before I ended up on the bathroom floor. So it's just, I don't know what chronic fatigue is like. I hope I never have to experience it. But I imagine that's what this feels like. I can't lift my arms, I can't lift my legs, I can't lift my head. I can't sit on the couch. I just have to lie wherever I am. So it probably took me about 10 to 15 minutes before I could get myself dressed, and I had to do that in stages on Thursday morning. That was yesterday morning. And yeah, it's just really depressing. I ended up in tears, which I am now. But yeah, it's been really, really tough to be this tough old broad that I am and be so weak all the time. So yesterday was a pretty crappy day as well, and I thought that I might have come good later on in the day, but that didn't happen either. So I have spent the best part of this week, I haven't done any videos. I haven't even been able to open my laptop. I just haven't got the energy to do any of that. So yeah, until last night, I pretty much stayed on the couch the entire week. Which brings us to today. Judging by what happened in the previous round of chemo, I thought Friday I was going to be really good, because the previous Friday I just snapped back to my old self like, I don't know. It didn't happen this time round. I ended up going to work this morning. Chris ended up opening up and putting all the stock out the front. I couldn't do that. So I sat there for a while, and he knocked back a couple of customers' alterations jobs. Did have one lady come in and she was desperate to have something done. So I managed to get that done with Chris's help, because, you know, measurements are important, and I had to make sure that he checked my measurements, because I can't rely on my own mind at the moment. So I did manage to get that one alteration done for the lady, and she ended up bringing me chocolates in gratitude. She bought me some chocolate in gratitude because she felt bad dropping them off to me this morning, which was really nice. I could actually taste that this morning or this afternoon. Anyway, after I did that, I went home and had a nap for a couple of hours. I was just completely buggered. Yeah, so I don't know why today I'm able to do a few more things, but it's, yeah, I still don't have the energy that I've that I would love to have. Tomorrow's another day. I'm hoping that because I did manage to do a few things today, that I might be able to get a bit more done tomorrow, hopefully. I'm not going to push myself. If I have to go home and rest, then I will. It's actually the first time I've been able to drive today as well. I haven't been able to drive the car at all this week. So Chris has had to drive me around, and we've had to do online grocery orders because Chris isn't fun to go grocery shopping with, so it's easier just to do it online. I can browse what I want. So I'm hoping that tomorrow is going to be a much better day. I'm trying to keep my spirits up. I will be emailing my oncologist with a report on how I've fared this week, and I might put it into a table because I'm one of these table kind of girls, comparing the first session to this last session and seeing how my energy levels have been, because it might mean that she might give me less medication or less chemo drugs in the next round. We don't know, but I think she needs to know exactly what's happening. So rather than telling her on the day, I'll give her a week or two's notice before we go back to chemo. Anyway, I think that's about all I've got to share with you today. We don't have any appointments next week, so we are home all week by ourselves. We don't have to drive to Melbourne for anything. I do have a phone appointment with my breast surgeon on Tuesday, so I should find out maybe then when I might be having surgery or what her plans are. We'll find out about that next week. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you, and cancer's tough, but we're tougher, and I shall catch you next time. See ya.